Welcome. This is Mohammed Jafari from the Faculty of Arabic Language, Qadi Iyad University, Marrakesh. This video focuses on structuring the research report as a final stage in conducting research. Of course, it is a piece of writing, a long one and academic, and it is submitted as a requirement for a degree. Now, concerning the content of this piece of writing, we start with paratext. It means before the body of the research. We start with the title page. It is the cover, and then followed by dedication, sentences or expressions, acknowledgements, abstract, table of content, list of figures and tables, list of abbreviations, and glossary. Now the question is, does every research, or should every research contain all of this component? No, only those in red. Those in red should appear in every research. Of course, title page, abstract, which is some sort of summary, table of content, and list of figures and tables. We are talking here about quantitative research. Those dedication, acknowledgement, list of abbreviations, it depends on the research itself. So all these come before the content of the research. What is the content of the research? Include the following items. Introduction is part of the body here. When we are talking about research, we are talking about paper submitted for a degree, literature review, methods, results, discussion, conclusion, reference list, appendices. Of course, here it depends also on the type of the research, whether it has appendices or not. But reference list, conclusion, discussion, results, methods, all these are necessary. That is the body or part of the body of research. Now, this is an example of title page. It contains the logos. We start with the logos here, with the logos of the institutions. It is Qadi Iyad University and Faculty of Arabic Language, and the title, Rhetorical Devices in Political Discourse, and it is a case study. We talked last time about case studies, and here the student tackles Obama's inaugural speech as a case study, one speech. And below the title there is what type of degree is the student or the research is submitted for. It contains also the name of the students, the number also of his student number, and the name of the researcher, and also the year when this piece of paper is submitted. So we are talking about acknowledgement. So title page, we have just discussed this. Now acknowledgement. Acknowledgement is it is a section where the researcher express his gratitude to people who have helped him or her conducting, accomplishing this piece of writing. Let's talk about table of content. So as we see here, everything is clear from the beginning: dedication, abstract, table of content, and with page numbers. Also the numbering, the general introduction, which is considered as a chapter by itself, the first chapter, and the subsections are also numbered 1-1. There is also the second chapter, the third chapter, the fourth chapter, and then conclusion, bibliography, appendices. And here in this research we have 2 appendices. So this is just an example. Table of figures, graphs, pictures, everything should be numbered. So figure 1, the page, and also entitled. There is the title for each figure and listed here. The same thing can be done with tables. Now we come to the abstract, and it is very important. It is an important part of the paper. What is that, this abstract? It is a short summary. It is a summary of the study, but it refers to everything included in the paper. Usually about 150 to 300 words long. It's not that long, and the components in this abstract can be listed as follows. It states the main topic and aims. So what is the research about? It describes the methods, but not in details, just it refers to that, and summarizes the main results and states the conclusion. So everything should be done within the limits of the stated number of words. The glossary, as we said, it depends whether there are unfamiliar words and familiar terms in the research can be explained in the glossary. Now we come to the body of the research of the paper. The introduction should explain what is the research about, why, for what purpose, the aims, the objectives, and how it is conducted, the methods. So everything, by the end, the reader should understand, should have the questions, the answers to these questions. So in the introduction, the researcher establishes the research topic. In 1 sentence or 2 sentences, this is the topic of this research. And then the background information in order to give the context why this research or this topic is chosen. And then narrow the topic. We have talked about the technique of narrowing, of focusing the questions, and also here the topic. It shouldn't be very broad or very vague, and define the scope of the research. Another point, which is the relevance. So here also the topic, is it relevant to the broader problem or debate that is taking place in one's country, in one's environment. Now, when everything is done, we come to the questions and objectives. And by the end of the research, of the introduction, one should talk or explain the structure of the research. How many parts are there? The subsections and the chapters. That is the structure of the paper. We come to literature review, and here the student, the researcher, tackles the relevant sources he has read or she has read in order to understand further the topic his or she is studying. And then these relevant sources can be books, can be articles, can be anything else that is written, previous researches, theories, assumptions, and not only read them and state them, but evaluate them critically. What the researcher has understood, how or compare between them, how they have tackled the topic, and submit or exhibit the arguments and justification why there is a gap. For example, in that literature, in those previous studies, there is maybe a gap that the researcher wants to tackle, wants to bridge that gap. And then maybe will propose another methodology, a different methodology, a different approach, how to approach that same topic, and propose answers to unresolved problem, and advances a theoretical debate, maybe. One, two, or three of these points can be sufficient. Now, in this, so the researcher may also express his objective or her objective that the present research can strengthen the existing knowledge, or modify or add to that. Maybe analyze further theories, not only previous researchers, but maybe apply different theories. And here we are talking about theoretical framework. In methodology part, the researcher states the type of his or her research, whether it is qualitative or quantitative or both, or will apply both approaches, and then submit or define the methods and give a justification. Not only I'm going to use questionnaires or interviewing, but for what reason? Why have you chosen this, and what will serve? What kind of information you are looking for? You are trying to gather. And then where this research is taking place? Is it in the laboratory, or in the or at school, some schools, or at the university, or in the library? Okay, so, and with whom? Is there anybody else helping you in conducting this research? So where, when, and whom the research took place. Methods of analyzing data. So methods of gathering data and methods of analyzing data, the statistical analysis, discourse analysis, the tools you are using. So tools and materials used, computers, programs, lab equipment, everything should be tackled. And also there should be some discussion of obstacles faced and how they are overcome. In the results section, it is very important. So here the researcher exhibits only the results, and I'm here talking about quantitative research. Only the results, graphs, tables, without interpretation, without interference from the researcher. So the report's outcomes relevant to the research questions and hypotheses. Visualize results in terms of graphs, tables. Concerning the qualitative research, data analysis mixed with discussion. In qualitative research, one can mix results and discussions. But concerning the quantitative research, normally the results are presented separately from the discussion part. The discussion, it is the part where the researcher interprets the results in detail, of course, and highlight the objectives and expectations met, whether the objectives are met or not, the expectations from this research. And then what are the unexpected results? Maybe some results appear because of the research, and what are the benefits of these results? Then this is an important point, is to check these results against the previous the previous researches that the researcher have mentioned in the literature review, whether they are the same or different, in what type they are different, and also the framework, the theoretical framework. Then there should be references all the time to limitations having influenced the results. In the conclusion, it is equally important because it is a summary, longer summary than abstract, but this time the researcher speaks with the impression that he or she has all finished the research and there are results in his hand. So it is a concise summary and reflection on the research. Some subjective ideas may appear here. There is statement of the answer to the main research question in other terms, and highlighting, of course, the new knowledge added in the field where or when the research has taken place. By the end of the conclusion part, the researcher, on the basis of the results, makes recommendations for people concerned, for the ministry, for the authority around, either educational authority or people in general, or parents or teachers, and also recommendations for future work on the topic. In the reference list, it is very important, so it should include all the sources that one has used or has read or has used in his or her research. Now, the method of exhibiting, of showing this reference list, one may choose. There are different citation styles. For example, APA, MLA, Chicago, and so on. One may choose and agree with one's supervisor. So as an example, we have APA, which is American Psychological Association. For example, this book, it is cited, so family name of the researcher and just the initial words of his name, and then the date of publication between brackets, and then the title of the book. In MLA, which is Modern Language Association. The full name is exhibited there, and the date of when the book was published is stated by the end. Now, appendix, so for example, it can take full versions of data interview transcripts. When one has got transcripts from interviews, can be included fully in the appendix part. As usual, by the end, so these are the references used in this course, research methodology course. And I would like to offer a nice rose that I liked much for all the people following this video, and thank you.